So I've been sick for about a little over 3 weeks, and I believe it's dengue, but I have not had the money to go to the doctor, so I let my body fight it on its own terms. And one of the things everybody kept telling me is you should eat some bananas. So here, a little over a week ago, a friend of mine, my best friend, he had been at his mother-in-law's house down south of here, Guagua, and I guess his mother-in-law has banana trees, so they raided a great big huge bunch of bananas. He gave me half of them, and they're starting to get overripe. Well, actually, I still got a couple that are not ripe, but I've got a couple in there that are really ripe, so I figured, well, let's try to fry bananas. I'd heard of this method. These are not really the sweetest bananas, so I thought, well, usually when you fry something, a fruit or a vegetable, it'll come out sweeter. So I'm cutting this. I'm gonna separate it. We're gonna fry them up. Let's see how this works. So I'm also dipping it in brown sugar. Some brown sugar in here. I don't want a lot in here, but a little bit. It'll caramelize on the banana, and it'll seal the flavor in. Plus, it'll make it sweet. So it's always a bonus, right? Who doesn't like something a little sweet now and then? All right, so I'm going to cut these up. We'll see where we're at. It's making a mess on my fingers here. So I'm going to wipe those off and see what else I can do. Let's see how this works out. All right, so I had a couple that were a little overripe. So I'm just cutting the black end off of them. These are really mushy, so I got to be really careful with them. I already did one, and yeah, it was a little tough to take out of the skin. But if you're patient with it, and gentle, it'll make it. It was close. And then be very gentle here. All right, these were the really ripe ones here. So let's see how these are. I got some oil heating on the stove, pan, and let's see what happens when I drop them in here. All right. By the way, this is washed brown sugar. The raw brown sugar has molasses in it. I don't like the taste of molasses. I like the texture of the washed. I can get the refined, the white sugar, but it's pretty expensive. The washed is, like I said, my preference. Yeah, I always have a container of it. So I had to fill that up after the last ones. So I'm going to fry these up. Let's see how those turn out. If those work, then I'll just fry up the rest of them. Hey, nice treat for dinner to go with my chili. All right, just having those with sugar on them, it brought out a lot of moisture on here. Hopefully my oil is hot. Let's drop one of these in. Yep, starting to cook. I don't know how hot to get this oil. This is the first time I've tried this, but everybody tells me bananas are more healthy for me when I've been sick. So I'm on the road to recovery, but I still run out of energy pretty quick. Let's try this mushy one here. Let's see if we can even get this thing to work. Oh, that's hot. Ow. Okay, we'll try these. I don't know how long to cook them. And then I'm not sure if I should flip them with my tongs or with the spatula, but I've got both here just to see. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit more. These burners are really sensitive, and this is my small burner. That's a medium burner, and then there's one over here on the other side. That's my temperature. This surface of the moon or the sun burner. I use that if I have to boil something really quick. It's a huge burner, but we'll give this a minute here and see how they work. I'll get back to you. Might take a few minutes to cook these down, and I'll wait and see if I'm getting anything going. Okay, I just flipped these. Had to use a combination of tongs and spatula here to get these soft ones flipped over. But we'll give this a few minutes here. We'll see. These that just came right today, they seem to be pretty firm, so I'm not too worried about them. It's these really soft, overripe ones that I'm worried about. So you can see I'm just getting a little bit of browning on there. But I'm going to let these cook a little bit longer than what I did on that side. I might flip these back over. We'll see how these look here in, I don't know, about 5 minutes. I'm gonna let them get pretty toasty here, especially these really soft ones. I'm gonna really let those cook a long time, just firm up a little bit more. They are firming up, but these right here are really soft, and yeah, I'm afraid they're gonna break in pieces. But let's see how this works. Like I said, you never know until you try, and so I'm not afraid of trying something new. People have told me, hey, fried bananas, those are really good. Especially ones that don't really, they're not the really sweet bananas. These are more like plantains. And I probably could have cooked them up while they were still green. I might even try it with the other 2 green ones that I've got. See how those turn out. And yeah, get back to you and see how this turns out. All right, as you can see, the soft ones, the ones here in the middle, they browned up pretty good on the one side. I flipped them over again, all of them, and I'm going to let those cook a little bit longer, and I'm going to take the more firm ones out. Now, I can use my tongs with them. I just wanted to get that other side a little bit more browned. Yeah, that's browning up really nice. That's about what I was hoping for. Yeah, that one can come out. I'm just doing this one more time. Still kind of limited on how much I can do with my left thumb. That's the one that swelled up really bad. Now the skin's peeling off and it still hurts like the dickens. So I'm going to pull these out. Set them on my paper towel here. And see, they're fairly firm. I'm just going to drip them down. I'm a klutz. Okay. It's around here where I can work on it. Yeah, they're not too bad. A little crispy on the edges. That's fine. It's supposed to be a treat anyway, right? I don't know if people actually eat these for a meal or what. Again, there's a lot of new things I'm learning here in the Philippines. Let me put these super soft ones in here. Get those started cooking. Ooh, those other ones are hot. I just touched one. Don't do that, Jerry. Drop those in here. I'm going to drop these last 2 in here. Again, like I said, I don't know how these are going to turn out. I could cook more. But if these turn out good, then I probably will. I'll just cook up the last of them. Bananas are supposed to be healthy. And anything I can get that's going to help me on the road to recovery, I'm all for it. Like I said, I still get tired, but I've got a lot more energy. I've actually been working out in the yard, clean my house. Something I haven't done for about 3 weeks because I was not feeling good. I made a video and that took all the energy out of me. See it. Yeah, see now that super soft one, it's actually a little too done, but I'm not dripping that one off. It's just, it wants to break. I don't want to break one. Let's get that down in the bath here. All right, I'm gonna finish cooking these, and we'll see how these turned out, how they taste. If they're good, then yeah, I'll probably cook up the rest of them. Why not? All right. Yeah. Always try something new. Don't be afraid of trying something new. All right, let's see how these turned out. They're really sticky. See, they're sticking to my paper towel. I put them on another paper towel to get the grease off them a little bit. Wow, that's really sweet. Got a little bit of a crunch to them. And this is one of the mushy ones, so I'll try one of the firm ones here in a minute. But the best these tasted yet. Of course, with the sugar on there, they would, right? I might cook up some without sugar, see how they could turn out. And like I said, I might cook those two green ones, see how they work. I don't mind eating bananas, but I can only eat so many in a day. These I could probably eat all day. Really delicious. Yeah, give it a try, guys. Yeah, see how they're stuck together? That's why I'm wondering if I should even be using sugar on them. Caramelization of fruits will usually bring out the sweetness in them anyway. So, yeah, I think I'll try some without, see how that works out. Yeah, that's one of the mushy ones. Interesting, because it's got the crunch on the outside, but the real tenderness on the inside. Again, you never know until you give it a try. So give it a try, folks. Yeah, I got a little piece of paper towel stuck on there. Okay. Like I said, these are really sticky, so they're sticking on my paper towel. And this is a separate plate. My other plate's over there that I took these out of, that I put them in and took them out of. So I might try it without a paper towel until I cook them, and then I'll drain them onto that paper towel. And these are U.S. paper towels. Some that I shipped over. I needed some padding in some of my Bion boxes, and I had a big stack of paper towels, so I just sent those over. Normally, they get the little bifold sheets, and that's what I normally use. I've got a bunch of those, but I thought, hey, let's just use up these. Okay, well, I'm going to sit here and enjoy these for a few minutes, and then I'm going to cook up these other ones without the sugar, and I'll even try these. I'll just cook them all up. Worst case scenario, they don't have the caramelization on the outside like what these do, but they also won't be as sticky, and we'll see how they turn out. Let you know here next clip. And what I have left over, I'll put those in a container, put them in the fridge, and I've got a snack, right? I don't want to get too filled up on these, but man, they're good. I don't want to get too filled up because I got some chili ready to serve up here pretty soon. Some of my homemade chili. I've shown that in a previous video. So I cook up such a big pot that I have a lot left over. Put a lot of it in containers like this. I've got a lot of different types of containers. I got little containers, I got medium containers. I got huge containers. That's what I took the cake to church with. Yeah, that's the other thing. I said I've been kind of down. I ride my motorcycle to church, and I'll tell you what, I get to church and I just got sweat pouring off of me. I have to sit down, rest up during services, and then afterwards I ride home. As soon as I get home, I'm just wiped out. That's about all I do, ride about 15, 20 minutes on my motorcycle. And here, what was it? Well, before I got sick, it wasn't any problem to ride all day. But once I got sick, I had some running around to do. I put like 67 kilometers on the bike, just riding around town. I had things I had to do. I had paperwork I had to get signed and everything for this fiasco that's going on right now in my life. Man, I'll tell you what, it took me 2 days to recuperate from that. It was just every last little bit of energy. You know, like I said, I studied the symptoms of dengue. I don't have the money to go, thanks to somebody making it so. But that's going to get rectified here pretty soon. Yeah, there's a plan. And it was basically to keep me from being able to obtain legal counsel. But got news for them, I was able to do it anyway. But yeah, it like I said, it took me a couple of days. That was back the end of February, and I was completely wiped out for a couple of days. I couldn't even hardly get out of bed, just to even go into the bathroom. So I studied the symptoms of what dengue is, and one of the things it saps all your strength. But this time of the year, mosquitoes are out, so I've been trying to limit my outside in the evenings. During the day, it's not so bad. I don't see any mosquitoes, and I had never seen a mosquito here until just a few weeks ago, and I got about 8 mosquito bites, and it was like 3 days later I was down. Started feeling kind of bad about a day and a half afterwards, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And I really wish I'd had the money so I could have gone and gotten antibiotics and things like that. But oh well, you know, God made our bodies to be able to heal themselves, so that's what I did. I let God take over and let my body heal itself. Sorry about proselytizing, but you know, I'm not ashamed of my religion. I'm not ashamed of my faith, and you know, I let God take care of a lot of things. Yeah, I know it's the easy way out. I mean, I'm still fighting too, right? All right, well, let's cook up these other ones without sugar, and we'll see how these turn out. Never know until you try, right? All right, so I got these kind of a little bit more crispy than what I did with the first ones. So this is one that was green. So let's taste that and see how this is. This is without any sugar. Definitely firm. It's very chewy. And that's kind of what I was afraid of. But not bad. Doesn't have a lot of flavor, not like these do. I'll finish that later. Okay, so this is one of the ripe ones without sugar. Not bad. Not as sweet as these, obviously. But definitely edible. So, yeah, I think if I was going to do that, I'd probably do the sugar. But hey, you know, I like my sugar. Need to sweeten my disposition. All right, guys, try some fried bananas. Either with sugar or without. Like I said, I did these, I overcooked these. I kind of got spaced out. And when I went back to check on them, they were getting quite done here. Just on the one side, really. I mean, inside, they're a little bit brown. That one kind of got done a lot, both ways. Same with that one. And this one. And that one. Okay, so these were the last the last 5 pieces that I put in there. I put these in first, and then like I said, I kind of spaced everything out. Still not feeling 100%, but while I'm not feeling 100%, I do kind of space out a little bit. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Try some fried bananas. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Till then, later.